Hey guys, today I'm gonna read you Educated from Tara Westover, Chapter 1. Choose the good. My strongest memory is not a memory, it's something I imagine. Then I came to remember as if it had happened. The memory was formed when I was 5, just before I turned 6. For my story, father told in such detail that I and my brothers and sister each conjured our own cinematic version. With the gunfire and shots, mine had crickets. That's the sound I heard as my family huddles in the kitchen. Lights off, hiding from the fates who would have surrounded the house. A woman reached for a glass of water, and her silhouette is lighted by the moon. I saw echoes like the lash of a whip, and she falls. In my memory, it's always mother who falls, and she has a baby in her arms. The baby doesn't make sense. I'm the youngest of my mother's 7 children, but like I say, none of this happened. A year after my father told us that story, we gathered one evening to hear him read aloud from Isaac, prophecy about Aminon. He sat on our mustard-colored sofa. A large people opened his lap. Mother was next to him. The rest of us were strewn across the shaggy brown carpet. Butter and honey, shall he eat? That droned low and a monotone, very from a long day. Helen scrapped that he may know to refuse evil and choose the God. There was a heavy pause. We sat quietly. My father was not a tall man, but he was able to command a room. He had a presence about him, the solemnity of an oracle. His hands were thick and dirty, the hands of a man who had been hard at work all his life, and then they grasped the Bible firmly. He read the passage aloud a second time, then I third, then I fourth. With each repetition, the pitch of his voice climbed higher. His eyes, which moments before had been swollen with the fatigue, were now wide and alert. There was a divine doctrine here, he said. He would inquire of the Lord. The next morning, Dad perked our fridge of milk, yogurt, and cheese, and that evening when he came home, his truck was loaded with 50 gallons of honey. Isaac doesn't say which is evil, butter or honey. Dad said, grinning as my brothers logged the white tubs to the basement, but if you ask, the Lord will tell you. When Dad read the words to his mother, she laughed in his face. I got some pennies in my purse. She said, you better take them. They will be all the cents you got. Grandma had a thin, angular face and an endless store of folks' Indian jewelry, all silver and turquoise, which hung in clumps from her spindly neck and fingers, because she lived down the hill from us, near the highway. We called her Grandma down the hill. This was to distinguish her from our mother's mother, who we called Grandma over in the town because she lived 15 miles south, and the town in the country which had a single stoplight and a grocery store that his mother got long like two cats with their tails tied together, and they could talk for a week and not agree about anything, but they were tethered by their devotion to the mountain. My father's family had been living at the base of Box Park peak of a half century. Grandmothers and daughters had married and moved away, but my father stayed building a shaped yellow house, which he would never quite finish, just set up the hill from his mother's at the base of the mountain and the planking a junkyard, one of several next to her manicured lawn.